In my introductory remarks, I said that this film was like a jazz standard played in a fresh and soulful way. Well, that ending is like the band was playing a low-down blues and suddenly broke into a sunny pop tune. Ugh, not very noir. There are hints in the production files that the ending of Tomorrow is Another Day was changed after negative reaction from a preview audience. Probably the usual pack of Pasadena teenagers whose bad taste changed the endings of too many films that were meant to have downbeat conclusions. In this case, it's really a shame. Imagine this movie with a genuinely noir ending. Kay mortally wounds Bill, only to learn they weren't being hunted by the law, which I suspect was the original ending. With a finish like that, a classic. But even with its limp ending, Tomorrow is Another Day stands as the best directed film of Felix Feist's career. The actors portraying the Dawson family sure did a terrific job, making believable characters and compelling drama out of what could have been nothing more than a plot device. Ray Teal was a familiar face by this time, having appeared for more than 10 years as cops, sheriffs, and prison guards. This was one of the rare instances he wasn't wearing a uniform, and he got to have a family and be a real character. His wife Stella is played by Lorene Tuttle, whose extensive work in films was matched by a long career on the airwaves, where her skill with both comedy and drama and a mastery of dialects earned her the nickname the First Lady of Radio. She is perfect in her pivotal supporting role. And a fine performance is turned in by young Bobby Hyatt, who had more noir films on his resume than any kid in Hollywood. High Wall, The Dark Past, Caught, He Ran All the Way, and Tomorrow is Another Day. This kid grew up in the dark. As for Steve Cochran, where do I even begin? The guy may have been underrated as an actor, but he certainly was not underrated as a lover. Just ask Mamie Van Doren. Years ago, I did ask her point blank, who were the duds and who were the studs? For her, Steve Cochran was alone at the top of the stud list. Cochran's appetites and prowess were legendary. Professionally, the actor formed his own production company in the early 50s, hoping to follow in the footsteps of actors turned producers like John Garfield, Dick Powell, and Burt Lancaster. He formed Robert Alexander Productions, using his real first and middle names, and produced one truly terrific film, Come Next Spring, co-starring Ann Sheridan. After that, Cochran powered through middle age in a blaze of booze, sex, and movie making. It left him looking a little rough around the edges while still in his 40s. In 1965, after wrapping up what would be his last film, Tell Me in the Sunlight, which he wrote, produced, directed, and starred in, Cochran placed an ad for an all-female crew to help him scout locations for his next film, Captain O'Flynn. This was aboard his private yacht, the Rogue, traveling between Acapulco and Costa Rica. 11 days out, the boat was found adrift at sea, its mast broken. Cochran had suffered exposure trying to guide the ship through a prolonged squall. An autopsy claimed the cause of death was an infection caused by water in his lungs. Since none of the 3 crew members were competent mariners, Cochran's ad had specified no experience necessary. They couldn't pilot the vessel to safety, and Cochran died at sea. And there's a bizarre epilogue. After the actor's burial, Merle Oberon, who had starred with him in Of Love and Desire, demanded his body be exhumed because she suspected the women on board had killed him. No evidence of foul play was discovered, but Merle Oberon's husband couldn't have been too happy about her concerns. There is, of course, even more to the strange saga of Steve Cochran, but maybe the place to discuss it is on the Noir Alley Facebook page and our Twitter feed. Cochran will certainly be turning up in future installments of Noir Alley, since he's one of the most unique and compelling characters in this burg. Next week, we'll be back with one of the best films from Noir Alley favorite Dan Duryea, The Burglar, with a screenplay by David Goodis, based on his novel of the same name. Until then, take Kay Higgins' advice. Always stay on your toes so you don't wind up on your heels.